Welcome to this evening wind down. Thank you for joining me on this journey of mastering our relaxation. In this evening's yoga, we're going to be stretching and getting into the upper body, the hips, and also the legs. We're going to be releasing tension and stress that might have accumulated up in the body from today's activities. Check in with your body and your mind and meet it where it is today. If any of these poses do not serve your body, skip it or modify it. For today's practice, have a yoga block, a bolster, or a pillow available. Remember, your body is the guru. Honor and listen to it. Let's begin our practice in child's pose. Bring the big toes together and take the knees out wide. You also have the option of keeping the knees together. Then stretch the arms forward and up overhead and land the forehead gently on the ground or on a prop. Soften the hips towards the heels. Use your breath to build awareness into the body. Soften the upper back and your heart center towards the ground. Use your breath cycle as an indication of where your mind is today. And gradually start to slow down your breath cycle and elongate your exhalations. Gently lift the head up and walk the hands over to the right. Come onto the pinky knife edge of the left hand and push the left hand into the ground. Relax the upper body and the head down, resting the forehead either on the ground or using the right hand as a pillow. Take the breath in between the ribs and feel the stretch along the triceps of the left arm. Lift the head, walk the hands through center, and stretch over to the left, pushing the knife edge of the right hand into the ground. Notice the sensations and send the breath all the way into the sticky and tight areas of the right side of the body. Inhale to release child's pose and come onto all fours into tabletop position, stacking the knees under the hips and the wrists right under the shoulders. Spread the fingers wide as we move into cat-cows. Inhale, tilt the tailbone up, send your heart forward and the shoulders back. Exhale to push the ground away, sending the belly button towards the spine. Inhale, dip the belly low, heart forward, tailbone up. Exhale to round the back, sending the abdominal muscles towards your spine. Take your time. Move and feel the spine as you take 2 more cat-cows. Bring the spine back to neutral, and then start to make some circles with the spine. Just circling the spine in one direction, turning the cat-cows into one continuous flow of movement. And if this movement doesn't work for you, you can always take another movement that your body intuitively needs. And then pause through center and start to circle the spine in another direction. Release the spinal rotations. And keep the hips right over the knees. Walk the hands forward, melting the heart down into puppy pose. Continue to draw the shoulders away from the ears as you melt the heart down. Soften the back of your heart. Make sure that your toes are not clenching up. Soften your fingers and even the muscles of the face. Gently engage the abdominals and push into the hands to release puppy pose. And then come to lie flat on the stomach. Moving into Sphinx pose. Make sure the elbows are right under the shoulders. Grab a hold of the elbows to make sure that the forearms and the elbows are shoulders distance apart. Bring the forearms forward, palms facing down, and then roll the shoulders back a couple of times, bringing the shoulder blades in towards each other. Draw the heart forward, shoulder blades down and back. Relax the shoulders away from the ears. And make sure that your glutes are nice and relaxed. We're going to come into broken wing, coming into a shoulder and chest stretch. You can bring the right arm out into a T shape or bend the elbow and then use the left hand in front of the chest to roll yourself onto your right side, either placing the left foot behind the right leg or stacking the knees on top of each other, finding the variation that works for your body today. Make sure to draw the shoulder away from the ears as you stretch into the front of the chest. Release and come to lie flat on the stomach. Stack the hands on one another and rest your forehead down in crocodile pose for just a couple of breaths. And let's prepare for broken wing on the second side. Find the variation that works for you, whether you're going to bring the left arm out into a T shape or take a bend in the left elbow, and then roll onto the left side of the body. Shoulders that round forward are often associated with poor posture and sitting in chairs for long periods of time, but also a tight chest can cause the shoulders to round forward. So as you breathe into this chest opener, imagine the muscle fibers loosening up like a loose elastic band. Inhale to release and roll yourself back onto your stomach. Take the legs out even a little bit wider and bring the palms of the hands as wide as the mat as you push the upper body up for seal pose. To get in a little bit deeper into this gentle back bend, bring the hands back towards the hips and push the body up. Relax the hips down, send the heart forward and the shoulder blades down and towards each other. Release seal pose and find your way into an easy seated position, Sukhasana. Take an inhale and sweep the arms out, around, and up. Exhale, hinge forward from the hips to fold forward over your legs. Use your inhalation to lengthen the spine, sending the heart forward, drawing the shoulders back. And use your exhalation to soften from your hip points. And you can keep the head upright or let the head fall forward, softening the upper back, the back of the heart, letting the whole upper body go. Inhale to push the upper body upright to release. Lean back and switch the cross of the legs, bringing the opposite shin in front. And you can always use a yoga block or a prop here, placing it in front of the legs to relax the forehead down if you want more support. And then inhale to sweep the arms out, around, and up. Exhale to fold forward, letting the head hang or softening your forehead on a block. I love the use of a prop under the forehead here because it allows the whole upper body to soften so you don't have to hold anything up, helping you to relax more into the pose, getting deeper into the connective tissues that wrap around the hip joints. Inhale, come up to release. If you decided to use a prop here, just set it off to the side. And remain seated, lengthen and straighten the legs out in front of you. We're going to come into a seated forward fold. You can keep a deep bend in the knees, flexing the toes towards the face if the hamstrings or the back body is tight. Use your inhalation to lengthen the spine, and then exhale to fold forward as far as you can. Let's make this a restorative forward fold. So not actively pulling the body forward, just letting the body fold and ease forward. You can allow the upper body to relax and round. See if you can find any more space as you soften with your exhalations. Inhale to gently roll the spine up to release the forward fold. And take the legs out wide, coming into a wide-legged seated forward fold. Keep the knees and the toes pointing up. You can also keep a bend in the knees here if the hamstrings are tight. And move the fleshy parts of the upper thighs out of the way to make sure you're sitting up nice and tall on your sits bones. Place the hands behind the hips. Lengthen your spine. Soften the shoulders down. And use deep inhalations and long exhalations to soften the hip points and soften the lower body. You can stay upright here with the hands behind the hips. To move a little bit deeper, you can bring the hands in between the legs, folding forward, and continue to check in and scan the body and make sure you're softening your face, that you're not clenching your jaw. Soften the hips. Inhale to release, bring the legs back together. Grab a bolster, a pillow, or a block, and find your way onto your back. Soles of the feet flat on the ground. Tuck your tailbone down and reach with your hands to touch the backs of your heels. On an inhale, push into the ground, lift the hips up, and slide the block, the bolster, or a pillow right under the hips to rest right at the sacrum, coming into supported bridge. A great pose to do at the end of the day to allow the hips to release, to give the legs a break, and to also invite some nourishing blood flow towards the upper body and the brain. You can always stay in the supported bridge. Or if you want to take a legs up the wall variation with me, raise the legs, keep the knees soft. We're just going to let the legs relax, so we're not flexing the toes. Just allowing gravity to help release tension in the legs and in the hips. This is a great pose to alleviate any swelling in the lower legs. If you want to help with the circulation of the lower body, begin to point and flex the toes. This helps to contract the muscles around the blood vessels in the legs, helping with circulation and pushing the blood towards the heart. Bend the knees to release. Set the feet back down onto the ground. And then push into the feet to lift the hips up and slide your prop out and set it off to the side. Come to lie flat on the back and hug the knees in towards the chest, releasing the lower back and finding a nice counter posture to that gentle back bend. Keep the left knee hugged in towards the chest. Straighten and lengthen the left leg long on your mat. Flex your left toes towards the face, and then send the right knee out towards the right shoulder, coming more towards the side of the body. Now release the flex of the left toes, completely relaxing the lower body. Come back to center to release, switch over to the opposite side. Lengthen the right leg, flex the right toes, and take the left knee out towards the left shoulder. And then release the flex of the right foot. Release the left leg down to meet the right. Take the legs out wide. Bring the arms out by the side with the palms facing up. Tuck your scapulas down on the back, coming into Shavasana. If you want to take a little bit of a heart opener to release the upper body a bit more, you can take Shavasana in supported fish pose, bringing a block to the mid-upper back, right where your bra strap would be, towards the lower ribs, and then using a second block right behind the head. Allow the body to relax, let the shoulders fall back, and the shoulder blades come in towards each other. Check in with the body, release the back body, the lower back into the ground. Let go of any holding or tension in the legs or in the feet. Relax your fingers, your heart center, the muscles in your abdomen. Let the chest muscles spread. Your collarbones, they smile forward. Soften your jaw and release your tongue. Release the space between your eyebrows as you soften the muscles around the eyes. Completely let go and relax in Shavasana. Begin to gently wiggle the fingers and the toes, bringing awareness back into the body, coming out of our deep relaxation. Interlace the fingers and push the palms away, up overhead, stretching the body long. And whether you're on blocks or flat on the ground, gently roll over to one side. Find your way back up into easy seated pose. Check back in with the body and the mind. Feel the effects of your practice. To close today's practice, I will share a piece from Louis-Jacques The Art of Peace. Your mind should be in harmony with the functioning of the universe. Your body should be in tune with the movement of the universe. Body and mind should be bound as one, unified with the activity of the universe. Inhale, sweep the arms out, around, and up. The palms touch and place the palms on the forehead as a reminder that you are the master of your Zen. Palms come to rest at the lips as a reminder to communicate our truth with authenticity and kindness. Palms rest at the heart center as a reminder to know thyself and love thyself. Thank you for practicing with me. Peace and ease to you.